All right, I thought real estate photography would be super easy. Take a couple pictures, merge them together in Lightroom. Well, it took me 2 days. Let's talk about it. All right, so I did real estate photography for the first time ever. My friend was moving out of her house and needing to sell hers, and she asked me if I'd be willing to take a couple pictures of it for her listing. It was kind of something I always wanted to do. Before I really get into it, let me break it down for you. This was a 3,000 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. It had a pool in the backyard. They wanted a couple drone shots. It wasn't exactly a small project for my first time. Let's quickly talk about what I charged. Full disclosure, I had no idea what to charge. I've never done real estate photography before. So I went to trusty old Google and ChatGPT, and I asked what would be a reasonable price for this square footage of house in this area with this type of experience. The number it came back to me was about 400, which was honestly, it felt kind of low to me, but I said, hey, I don't know. So I sent that over to the realtor. The realtor came back with 375. And honestly, I didn't really need the money. I was kind of just doing it for experience. So I said, let's do it. And let me tell you, that was my first mistake. Here's what I thought would happen. I would just show up, take a couple pictures. I watched a YouTube video. I learned about bracketing for the first time. If you don't know what bracketing is, it basically means that you take anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 pictures all at once. It takes a balance shot, it takes a higher exposure shot, and it takes a lower exposure shot. And what you're supposed to do is just put that all into Lightroom and do an HDR merge. I learned that for the first time as well. And boom, done. And I was like, oh, cool. I just take it all, put it into Lightroom, merge it, and I'm done. That sounds like easy money. When I was talking to the realtor and my friend, they're like,
it's typically standard procedure that we take the photos on this day, you have the rest of the day to edit, we get the photos back
the morning of the next day.
I said, hey, if this is standard procedure, who am I to say no? I've never done this before, but if this is typically how it's done, then it shouldn't be that hard. Here I am thinking I do the bracketed photos, put them in Lightroom, merge them together, maybe color correct just a little bit, straighten a couple lines. 4 hours worth of work, max. Perfect. Yeah, I could do that. So here's what actually happened. I get there. I do the angles that I learned about. I go all the way to the far side of the room, snap my bracketing shots, move on to the next one. It honestly took a whole lot longer than I anticipated. When I got home, I learned it ain't that easy. You don't just take your bracketed photos, put them in the Lightroom, merge them, and they're good to go. YouTube lied to me. What you actually have to do is you have to mask everything. So needless to say, I didn't take 60 photos. I ended up taking on 200 problems. So class, settle in. Here are the lessons of the day. Number 1, bracketing, super easy. Editing the bracketed photos, that, my friends, is a full-time 9-to-5 job. HDR merging is not a one-click wonder. It really does take time. I wish I knew that before I told them yes, that it would be done the next morning. Tutorials were way too complex and time-consuming for me, so I had to figure out workarounds to what I was doing. I ended up figuring out a way to mask out the windows and lower the exposure on them. That was a whole lot less complicated and time-consuming from what the YouTube videos were showing me. So there's that. Do not pick a 3,000 square foot house for your first real estate photography job. And if you are gonna pick a 3,000 square foot house for your first real estate photography job, charge more. Do not charge $375 because the real estate agent said that that's what he typically charges. Trust your gut, trust what your research tells you. Just don't do it. Do not promise fast turnarounds, especially for something you've never done before. When I tell you that it took me 2 days to accomplish what I originally thought was gonna take me 4 hours, I am not joking. It took me 2 days. I was not prepared for working all of the next day to complete these photos. So I had a video shoot planned for the next day that I had to stop midway through. It was a whole mess. So would I do it again? I mean, maybe? I honestly don't know. I don't know. I paid my dues. I had the experience. I learned some lessons, made some mistakes. At the end of the day, I think the photos turned out well. Would I do it for $375 again for a 3,000 square foot house? No, but maybe I would do it again just for a little bit more money. But what I do know is that if you want videos just like this one where I share my experiences, I share the lessons that I learned, I share the mistakes that I made, consider hitting the subscribe button and comment down below on an experience that you had that made you pull out your hair like this one made me do. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.